about a flower bed tour today? I'm about to get out in my yard and plant some stuff, and I thought, why don't I show my friends how this long garden bed is looking today? Almost everything that's in this long garden bed that I'm talking about came back from last year. And every year it's just looking better and better and better with less effort from me. So I thought I'd show y'all what it's looking like in early April. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Patty, and I am just a backyard gardener. I like to piddle around in my yard. I'm not successful 100% of the time. I'd probably say it's 50-50. I do a whole lot of killing things, but I'm getting better at getting things to grow. So in that aspect, if you're a beginner gardener, we can learn together, you and I. I'm not an expert. I won't be able to give y'all success story after success story, but I do have a few successes. So if you're interested in seeing real life backyard gardening on a limited budget, subscribe to my channel. I think you might think it's fun. I live here in Mississippi in zone 8A. Today is the first part of April and it is warm, but I think it's fabulous. And so I'm going to be out here all day getting some things planted, and I have some things that are already looking okay. Like I said, with little effort on my part. So let me turn the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. The first thing I want to show you is this green stalk. I've had it for a couple of years, and I have enjoyed it so much this spring, early spring. I planted these lettuces. I just bought lettuce starts from the co-op, and look at how beautiful they are. I picked the lettuces, and this is spinach right here, but I pick these all the time and have nice salads. It's wonderful. And I recommend grow stalks to, they're not grow stalks, they're green stalks. It's called a green stalk. It's a growing garden tower thing. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different levels, and each one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 planting pockets. So that's like, what's 30 plants you can grow in this thing, in just like a small footprint. But I have strawberries. I have a couple of onions in here because I had just some pockets available and I had onions, so I just stuck those in there. I have gathered so many strawberries that are better, way better than the ones you get in the grocery store. I would love to have a green stalk with just strawberries. And strawberries are perennial. They come back. And then they, will grow runners, and you can get new little baby strawberries. But anyway, there are a couple of the onions that are doing well. They've been in there longer. But yeah, this is my green stalk, and it's looking good. Looking good so far. This is actually the back side of the flower bed that I want to give y'all the tour of, but what the heck, I thought I'd go ahead and show you what's growing in these raised beds. Like I said, I'm a 50-50 gardener. I am unsuccessful 50% of the time and successful 50% of the time, or something like that. It may be more like 60-40. Unsuccessful 60% of the time. Who knows? Anyway, these are some onions we planted in this bed. Actually, Danny planted them in here. And since he planted them, they'll probably grow and be awesome. If I had planted them, they'd probably wither up and die. Danny is my husband, and he does a lot of the heavy lifting around here for me. The onions are doing okay. If you remember back in January, I planted some English peas and told y'all the little story about my mama trying to cook some English peas, and they were not good because gasoline had been mixed up in them. And I told y'all, when these English peas grow and make, I'm gonna cook them for my mama. Well, you see, I've got 2 little English peas sprouting up over there. I planted them in January, and we had a terrible freeze after that, and they rotted and died. And then I replanted them, and those 2 came up in this bed. And then this is a lettuce that has gone to seed. And then these 3 plants came up over here. So, and there's not anything else in this bed. I'm afraid I won't be able to cook those English peas for you this year, Mama, maybe next year. Right above the English peas, I have this beautiful clematis that is blooming. I don't know, this may be the 4th year that it's been here. It probably is the 4th year, but it is so pretty. I'm loving it. And more buds coming on it, more blooms to come. This lady right here is going to be the star of the show here before too long. This is a Peggy Martin Katrina rose. She's a rambler and she's beautiful. Peggy Martin is a lady who lived in New Orleans. During Hurricane Katrina, she had this rose, and it was underwater for something like 10 days, 14 days, just the murky salt yuck water from Hurricane Katrina. And when the waters receded, this rose still lived. And so some people got some cuttings of it and started propagating it, and it is everywhere now. And you have to have something hefty to plant this thing on, because if you just had a little old flimsy arbor or something, it would tear it down. So I have it stretched across this fence where she can go absolutely wild. And she is going to be beautiful here before too long. Let me give y'all a potato update. You know, the past couple of years, we've grown potatoes in these black pots right here. And the first year, we were kind of disappointed. And the second year was better. That's just garden debris right there. We need to clean that out because we're going to put tomatoes in these. But I wish you would look at these potatoes, how they are growing. We planted them. We planted the potatoes in February, and they had started growing and green was coming up out of the soil. And not too long after that, we had a cold snap, and it bit every bit of that green back. And we thought, oh Lord, the potatoes have rotted just like the English peas did. But no, we left them alone, and they came back, and they are doing so well. But this year, we're doing an experiment. Potatoes grown in pots versus potatoes actually grown in the ground, to see which one will give us the better yield. We have a lot of weeds coming up in these ground potatoes, but the ones on this end down here, they are looking better than the ones on this end. I don't know, maybe they get more sunlight, I'm not sure. But that's how the potatoes are coming along. And this is my long, I call it my long garden bed, or my long flower bed. And I have not planted anything in this flower bed this year. Everything that's in here is coming up from my past year's plantings that I've done. But I have a boxwood here that has a lot of new growth. It's looking pretty. I probably need to kind of trim it up. This is an azalea that really has never done very well, and it had some growth on it and a couple of blooms on it, and then we got a cold snap and it froze everything back and it looked terrible. So I just cut it back to nubs, and maybe it'll grow back, maybe it won't. But right now, look at these irises. I told y'all that I gardened on very little budget, and that's a fact. And these The most beautiful things in my flower bed right now came from a friend of mine. She divided her irises with me, and they are just gorgeous. I love them. That barberry is a rock star right now. Sitting on the front porch, you can see that red, and it's just beautiful. Now, last year I had some butterfly weed, Asclepsia, I think that's what it's called. And it reseeded itself all over this little garden bed. Like, here's some, and here's some. But let me show you what. Every bit of it that comes up, those little yellow looking aphids or whatever kind of bugs they are, just absolutely attack the new growth. And I don't like that. I don't like it a bit. At first, I thought I didn't have my glasses on, and I thought, oh, well, whatever that plant is, it has pollen all over it. Well, put my glasses on, and it is darn bugs. So I just ripped them all up. I'm probably going to pull those up too, because who wants that? And I think this is the tropical kind of milkweed that's really not good for the monarchs. Not sure about that, but there's Agara, coneflowers, black-eyed Susans, Artemisia. This is a, what is this? This is some kind of camellia. Never really looked too good, but I'm leaving it. Oh, see? See there? You're out of here. I'm not putting up with that mess. Another azalea that took the little cold snap that we had pretty harshly, so I cut it back. Look at there. Oh, maybe that's not bugs. Maybe that's just, I don't know. This is some thyme. Salvia. All over the place. I winter sowed that salvia, and it is just the best. I transplanted some of this salvia to other parts of my garden in different flower beds. Here's another clematis. That's an abelia. Hopefully, I sort of cleared out around it, so hopefully it'll get more sun and will do better. It's another barberry. Pretty green color. And have lots of coneflowers and black-eyed Susans. I think I'll have some zinnias come up in this bed. This is another camellia. Never has looked good. Those are some daisies. I need to transplant some of them. This is an Amsonia. I got this from Creekside Nursery. String Theory. It's supposed to look this orange color in the fall. I don't think it's looked like that for me. Some more salvia. Another boxwood. This is a little lime punch hydrangea. I moved two out of this bed earlier in the spring, and I left this one hoping that maybe she'd do okay. We shall see. There's another azalea. Looks like an ugly word. That is Baptisia, and it has seeded itself around in that area. Some black-eyed Susans and some more coneflowers. There are some daylilies. I need to spray those with some of the deer and rabbit repellent stuff. This is a Nandina that a friend of mine dug up out of his yard, and he gave me several little Nandina shrubs, so I have those planted around. And look at this. Ooh, she's gonna be a beauty. This is a shrub, it's called Jack Frost. It doesn't look the best. The only thing that really looks good on this end of the bed is that boxwood right there. And the Baptisia, when it comes up, it does look pretty. But this is a camellia that has never done anything. It's had some blooms on it 1 year. Maybe I should get Danny to replant it, then it would probably thrive. Oh, wait, look at Rebel. He's basking in the sun, enjoying this pretty day. All right, I'll leave y'all with the prettiest thing blooming in my flower bed right now. These irises. I want to show y'all this Grancy Graybeard tree. It's still in the nursery pot. I bought this last year for Mother's Day for my mama. I bought one for her and I bought one for myself. I planted mine and mine does not look nearly as pretty as this one. I don't think mine even had any of the little fringe flowers on it this year, but it does have some little green leaves, so maybe it'll make it. But Mama's is looking beautiful. I'm afraid to plant it for her for fear that I'll mess it up. Maybe I'll get Danny to plant it for her.